Hello, Stardusted Souls, and thank you for joining me, Pythia, the Oracle of Apollo. If you have never been to my channel, thanks for being here. I am a Reiki Master Teacher and the owner and founder. You know, I really wish I could say today's topic is going to be amazing, and I'm sorry, I'm looking for my dog. That today's topic is going to be amazing, but I have been getting asked about this time and time again. As many of you know, I have gone to see John of God, João de Dios, and it happened this year. I saw him in Brazil, and last year I saw him in Rhinebeck, New York. So there's these accusations going around that he raped women, he has molested women, and right now the count is around 700 women coming forward, accusing him of doing something perverse, inappropriate, demeaning, and against their will. So everyone keeps asking me about this, and I've had some also a YouTuber who commented and wanted to know my opinions on this topic. And I haven't touched on this topic much, well, on here at all, but I have touched on this topic a lot in person because everyone I know knows I've gone and they know that I've recently gone. So I'm various. I feel so passionate about this. I don't want to and talk in an emotional manner. So I'm trying to collect myself as I go. So if you see me pausing, is because I'm trying to phrase this in the best manner, especially for those who haven't gone to Brazil to see John of God. I've read some articles, something dailynews.uk, absolutely unreliable source for news, and I found this link in the Facebook page John of God Live. And it was in there, and even if you go to Wikipedia does not let them post anything on their site due to the unreliability or the quantity of truth lying therein. Also, I've read some personal blogs, and what really was the straw that broke the camel's back, I saw that 60 Minutes Australia posted December 12th some information about John of God, or an interview. They tried to make an interview, the disgusting guise of, understanding what is occurring there, his mission, and gave false questions and absolutely offended Zhao. And so apparently there's been 700 women, and there's like all of these different stories that don't correlate. I've read that he took $3 million out of his bank account before he went and got accused, or 9 million. There's some like ridiculous 300 million. Like there's all these numbers flying around all over the internet, especially with people really come forward that are saying and stating that he allegedly sexually harassed them. The age range is from 9 to 67, 700 women, 9 to 67. And if you like 9-year-olds, you're not gonna like a 67-year-old woman. If you even research it, if you watch persons or documentaries on persons who have this kind of fetish, kink, whatever you want to call it, you're gonna see why they stick to that. So it's not like, oh, I like 9-year-olds 5 minutes from now, and I like 67-year-olds the next minute from now. So I think this whole thing is ridiculous. The majority of the women have been going to radios and claiming they have been sexually assaulted by Zhao. They have not gone to lawyers. This is just radio stations. And it's brutalist kind of rape or anything is 6 months. And not that I'm saying they can say they're there with that man every single day. From my experiences, the people see him for the most part. on 60 Minutes, Australia, they try to make John of God a con man because he has turned business. Now, we'll go, oh, if you're a spiritual person, you should. You're right. If I was a spiritual person, I shouldn't make money, but fulfilled by you then. Because otherwise, how am I seen? We are still in the realm of the tangible and in the physical, and the energy here is currency. So that's ridiculous to me. But with that being said, it is 100 free to go see John, him at his spiritual hospital. 100% free. The people that were being interviewed, the show, unfortunately, was a woman go see him, and she is, I think, has MS, and so she can't walk, and she still can't. So she went to go see John and God with the he would cure her from her disease, and she'd be able to walk. This did not happen for her, unfortunately. But no, she claims nothing occurred to her. Her and her husband said that he's a con and that it was very expensive to go or to be there. $5,000 on their trip. Maybe you spend $5,000 on your trip to go because of where you live and you have however, when you're there, anybody local or from anywhere in the world, when you get to a local place, you get to see him for free. Okay, he sells medicine that he and the entities charge, and he sells water, and people buy this water. He makes money off of this. Nothing wrong with that. He is making a service, but he not just the needs of himself, but an entire community. There are 15,000 people in that benefit from him being there, from that pilgrims and people who volunteers. And if you own John of God testimonial video, check it out, and I tell you about my brother who went and came back completely renewed. The whole premise on the show was if you have faith, you will go, placebo effect will occur. That this man is a con because of this. I also noticed that the journalist too, which tells me he did not participate receiving a John of God blessing or healing, because otherwise he would have been required to wear white as per the code of the Casa. The women. I've read many of the articles that the women have given. I'm not a judge, I'm not a juror. I'm not here to say yes or no. You guys know everything I observed from physically being there a lot, many hours for many, many days, and how the building is. If you look at any pictures of any, you type it in on Google, John of God, that there is no privacy. Okay. Some of these women, one of the women said, oh, he invited office, which and then we sat and he was giving me a, and then he took room, and that's where he did stuff. And if you're in your own private office, why would you need to change venue? You know what I mean? Like, and then some women is just like, oh, some like just crazy stories. Like you could tell that they have never been there. They've never been there. Because when you go in, it's not like a regular doctor's office. He doesn't go see one person at a time. It's not individual. Like he sees thousands of people a day, guys. Thousands of people a day. He sees you for like a second. Like a 30-second, I'm serious. It's like the Pope, bless you, done. Because he doesn't need to physically be with you. And when you are in the room with him, it is with a line of 100 other people behind you. To the right, to the 90-degree angle on the right, there are one, two, three, four, there's 8 benches on the right. And they can see everything on his right side. and in front of him directly is about one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. There's about 11 benches in the front part where they all see. All of the signs are being seen at all times. All of the casa guides and the translators. There's a lot of staff there around him all the time. I didn't see security, which I'm sure there has to be security somewhere, but I didn't see. So you basically the building is like an L shape the way they made it, and there's like partitions and divisions. And you come in and you walk across a bunch of benches where people are meditating and praying to get into that like long line to see him. People literally all around you, like the entire circles around you. And there is no like private consultations. It's just him there, boom. And if you're getting a surgery, he does it either right there or in front of everybody on this little platform stage. That's it. Like that's it. I feel like when and then he's being charged with endangerment of religious something. I forgot. Um, I think it was like a radical organization that religious organization that's like bad some way. They're accusing him of. But now they're like, oh well, look, he has all this money, dollars. He has all this money. Okay, cool. He's People are looking at him, looking down at him because he has all this money. But if you were a doctor and you saw thousands of people a day, you'd have money too. If you were anything and you had thousands of clients a day, you would too. What is the problem? The person the 60 Minutes says she didn't feel nothing. For me, that experience was absolutely the most surreal thing I ever experienced. And it wasn't because I was like, oh, I believe everything I see. I'm a very analytical person. And a healthy dose of skepticism is warranted. But that being said, you can't close yourself off to the opportunity either, or connect yourself so deeply to an attachment of an expectation that if it doesn't go your way, then nothing occurred at all. That's the wrong answer of looking at life in general. Okay, that will definitely create not. It will create bitterness. It will create anger and resentment. That is what that builds. Um, so I personally don't think that that occurs saying if that ever did happen behind closed doors. If that ever happened behind closed doors, only God would know, right? But they're staying. All of these testimonials. It's just no way. Everything's way. There's not a corner there that you could hide in. Like everything is made of like if you ever have, because I'm from Puerto Rico, they make the houses out of like not like here in Philadelphia where it's like it's wood and then drywall. Everything there's like these big heavy cinder blocks, and then it's concrete wall, and they just go up. And everything's very simple there. You can just tell it's very simplified. They have traditional doors. Um, Nothing there looks sketchy. Everything's concrete. Um, and that's it. It's really like not that much there. And people are like, oh well, you can't possibly know if there's a secret passageway. Okay, cool. Secret passageway or not secret passageway. Nobody mentioned a secret passageway in their testimonials. Well, I'm sorry. From like the 16 I read, it wasn't like 16, it was like 7. But the whole bunch of articles that I read, nothing like that. So I don't even entertain people going, oh, secret passage. There's and he just turned the light off and that was it. And 700 is a lot. It's a big number. But I've seen like from 7 women to 700, 600. But it's so public there, and I just want people who haven't been there, um, that don't always believe the media, like listen to people who have listen to people who are, people to get attention will do anything. anything to get attention, to have their 5 minutes in the sun, to get a paycheck, to get money. You know, same any main religious figure or in religion is going to go ahead and see, and is probably going to get what you want, because obviously you're targeting someone with religious instinct to ascertain something from that. It doesn't really boggle my mind, as I was talking to this with someone recently because and for you guys who have followed me, Hamsa Nityananda is my guru, and that is who I go to for everything. But did you know that they accused him XYZ? And I go, oh, did you? Making waves because he is dynamic, because he's revolutionizing the third eye, because and traditions. Anybody who makes someone else uncomfortable can be demonized, especially people with religious authority, because we look at them and we go, oh, what will discredit them? And money and sex. Those are like the first two go tos, money and sex. This will discredit them, and people will go, oh, look, they'll see them for this and that, and they will stop following them, and this person will be in ruin. I don't agree articles that are being read or written. I feel people should fact check what they're reading, and even something as large as 60 Minutes portraying him as a charlatan and a con because of one person's experience is ridiculous. In that same video, he introduces them to people who had immense experiences, who were moved by the experience. But he's a con because one person told you they didn't experience something. So I could apply modern medicine, or am I wrong? Can I say um, this medicine's a placebo? It did nothing for me, even though people took it today. This medicine, obviously, you're a charlatan and you're a con artist. No, because not one medicine is created for everybody. Not all medicine is equal. This is why we have different kinds of medicines. So that's pretty much all I have to say on the topic. On this topic, I'm changing my color lights now. And leave your comments below. But I will warn you, if your comments are like super negative about it, because this is not about arguing. This is about sharing our opinions and our faiths, and not proving right or wrong, because like I said, only God knows, right? But I'm just sharing my 2 cents from my personal experience and the many people I spoke to while I was there. And you know may you all go in love, light, and wisdom, to know thyself, love thyself, and pray for John of God, and because he is needed as a healer for the people of the world. Go in love, light, and wisdom, to know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Ciao.